Winter Arc 2026. Today we are going to be going over the guidelines that I have set out for myself for the 3 month challenge that I will be doing starting on the 1st of June, ending on the 31st of August. So let's get straight into it. The first guideline is that I need to be in bed by 9:30 p.m. Right now, I'm going to bed around probably 10:30, maybe 11. So obviously that's something I need to work on. The next thing, and it kind of ties into going to bed early, is waking up early. I need to be waking up at 6 a.m. or 6 a.m. at the latest. Um, Ideally, I want to be waking up before the alarm goes off. I don't think it's good to be waking up to like some annoying sound. Um, so I want to make sure that I'm actually getting out of bed. My idea, if I go to bed early enough, then I'll wake up early enough. I think that makes sense. Um, because I just think it would be nicer. My ideal time would be like somewhere between 5:40, 5:50. Um, even if I wake up like literally 1 minute before the alarm goes off, that would be good. Um, and also that suggests that I've actually had a good enough sleep as well. Whereas if I'm waking up at like 4 a.m., that's probably not the best. Um, the next rule is that so no screen time, or at least very little minimal screen time 1 hour before bed. So in this case, that would be 8:30 p.m. Um, if I go to bed at 8:30 p. Sorry, if uh, I want to make sure that when I say screen time, I mean anything like it, light coming from my computer or light coming from my phone screen. I do actually have like blockout glasses, like blue light glasses, and I also have like blockout apps on my phone and my computer. So there's like a filter that goes over it, but I still want to, even with that, I still want to be limiting my the amount of time I'm looking at screen um, within like before I go to bed. Um, the next rule is that I want to make sure that I'm working out at least 4 hours per week. So just going to the gym. Um, I've been really slacking off with going to the gym lately for different reasons. Um, Usually to do with my bedtime. Actually, I mean because my bedtime's been out of whack. I haven't really. I want to have like a decent amount of time to go to the gym in the morning before work. And it just hasn't. Like the last week has just been like really bad. I only literally like last week was literally just 1 hour, the whole week. Um, yeah, so I'd say like generally speaking, it's probably like an average of 1 or 2 hours a week of going to the gym. I'm also not saying that going to the gym is the only way you can keep fit, obviously, but that's just the way I approach it. But but I really want to increase consistency because it there's got to be little to no changes in terms of physical transformation if I just keep going. If I keep going once a week. Um, and the next thing is also fitness related, which is cardio. Um, I'm not that bad with cardio. I do walk a lot. Um, I probably because I am very active with walking. I just want to sort of start running as well. I haven't. I just don't like running. I want to get into it, but just right now, it's just, like most pretty much all of my cardio is just walking, um, which is still good. Some people might argue that walking is actually better than running, uh, but yeah, I do want to sort of like have like go be that person who goes for runs in the morning. Right now, that is not really happening. The next rule is kind of talks about ties into what we were talking about before. As no screen time 1 hour after waking up, because I think a lot of people say, oh, you shouldn't have like blue light before going to bed, like right before going to bed. But I also think it's bad to be looking at a screen like as soon as you wake up. So I want to make sure that I'm doing like having a proper morning routine before I look at screens. Um, like if I like what if I'm gonna watch a YouTube video or something like that. Um, I want to be making sure that I'm like going to the gym and doing all the morning routine stuff before I be looking before I start looking at like blue screens. Um, I also think it's a good idea to have like the filter, like the filter app, like the filter on your phone in the morning anyway. Um, and the next thing, which is sort of more specific, I suppose, is no scrolling. So I can go on social media for two reasons. And those two reasons are number one, to check any messages or to message someone else, and the number two is to upload content. I cannot be no scrolling. I'm not going to be. I don't. I want to make sure that I'm not scrolling, whether that be YouTube or Instagram. I don't really use any social media outside of those two platforms. But if I'm on YouTube or Instagram, I want to make sure that I am not scrolling and that I'm being intentional with my use of social media. Like again, just checking for messages and uploading, like being a creator rather than a consumer. Um, the next one is count calories. So I want to make sure that I am in my food intake. I'm being a bit more accurate with the food I'm intaking. Obviously, even if you do use an app, it's still not going to be 100% accurate. But I want to make sure that I am tracking um, those my food intake, making sure that like the not just the calorie intake, but also the macros and the micronutrients. Um, want to make sure that I'm not having too much sugar or too much sodium or any of that sort of thing. Um, the next guideline is that I want to be writing. Um, okay, sorry. I want to be making sure that I want to write uh, every before I go to bed or maybe in the morning that I want to be no uh, before I go to bed I want to be making sure that I am writing the three important things that I need to do tomorrow, even those are just tiny little things that don't really even if they're not really that significant. I want to make sure that I'm making like three things that I need to do in that day. That way I have a better idea of what I'm doing for that day. um, the next thing is that I want to be making sure that I'm writing 1,000 words. If you do not know, I'm currently working on a writing project. It's very behind. I'm like years behind, honestly. I wanted to release it like years ago, but I still having trouble finishing it. Um, so I want to make sure I don't have a deadline, like a specific deadline date for it, but I would say that I'm, I'm more concerned with like I want to make sure that I'm writing 1,000 words on average per day. There's going to be some days where I can't write that much. There's also going to be other days where I can write a lot more than 1,000 words. So I want to be sure that at least like on average that I'm writing 1,000 words per day, and hopefully if I continue because right now in the project I've wrote about 47k. Um, if I keep going that until the end of June, I could reach about 80,000 words. Um, the next rule is, and I guess the last rule is just that I just need to hydrate in the morning. I know this video was a little bit all over the place, but I just wanted to go over the winter arcs. I also could have talked about the specific goals I have, but I feel like I'm someone who likes to focus more on objectives rather than goals, and sort of like the goals are the result of following those objectives. Um, yeah, it's because there's a lot of areas in my life that I've been very inconsistent or slacking off with. So I just really want to lift up my game, step up my game. Especially, I just thought that winter, now that we're about to go into winter here in Australia, it would be a good opportunity. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. I will also be trying to make daily updates or at least weekly updates as part of the Winter Arc challenge. Um, so stay tuned for those. But other than that, I will see you at a later in the next video.